Hey everyone, this is Steven with Central Standard Tech and Leadjetty.com. I'm back with another work session video. In this video, I really will just kind of keep going with some stuff that I'm working on, but I have some new features that we pushed out that I wanted to show that I thought kind of made sense to talk about. So over in our flows, we've really built this out a little bit more. So if you log in, you'll see something like this. You have this ability now. I think I showed this in the last video, but you can set the parent of a particular flow, which gives you these nice kind of nested breakdowns. I think that last time is when we built out the first version of this SaaS kit download thing. So this is an ad we're running from our or for our tech company, and or some ads we're running rather, and this is a flow that we set up. So I wanted to kind of, first of all, let me just refresh your memory on what this looks like. So if we click view steps, so we basically have a landing page. It's got an image. If this isn't the thing that I showed in the last work session, forgive me, but I think that it is. So essentially you have a landing page. You're getting your name and email. If you fill this out, we add you to our convert kit. Then what we try to do is we start trying to narrow down who you are. So are you just somebody who's interested in software but you don't really have any experience? So maybe you want to learn to code or something. You're already a developer. You're in a position where you're going to hire somebody. And then we have, I don't know if you saw this before, but if you did, you'll notice we restyled this. So you can see you have the conditions, and then we send you to different places. And this is actually going to get even better because this is a little bit hard to know, like, what does this point at. So we're going to make a new action for pointing at a flow specifically. So it'll be redirect to a flow, and I'll say which flow it is. Anyway, so if you click I plan to hire someone, we keep you moving through and we ask you for your phone number. If you click any of the other three, we send you somewhere else. And so I thought it'd be interesting to look at how that's working and then show you a couple other things. So what's interesting here, so we've only had this running for a day on a very small ad budget, I think like 20, 25 bucks, something like that. We had 19 people, we had 100 people. No, that can't be a day. I think we probably had this running for 3 days. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We've had it running for a little bit, and we've had 19 people fill this out. You can see here, actually 20 people fill it out. 20 people arrived at step 2, and 19 people filled it out. And you can see here we have a denominator of 23. So I think somebody came through here who actually kind of caught on to what we were doing, and they wanted to see what every option would do. So they went back and clicked the option. So we've still kind of got to work out exactly how we present these numbers a little bit and how we do the calculations, but you get the idea. But what's cool though is you can see 60% of people went this way, 17, 8, 13. So I wanted to show you that. The other thing I wanted to show is kind of what we're doing here, just to kind of give an idea. So for one thing, this learn to code thing. So actually, sorry, I'm bouncing around a lot. I just want to point out, we're asking a question on step 2 and it has a 95% conversion rate. So the drop off is near zero if you ask a simple, just multiple choice question. So that's kind of an interesting data point. Then if we go and we say, okay, like if you pick, so these are the 3 places you can go from this one. So if you keep with the flow, you pick the one option that keeps you in it, you just stay in the flow. The other 3 kick you into these. So if we go to the learn to code one, let's view the steps here. So this one's kind of a simple idea that we're playing with right now, and I don't know the stats on the affiliate side off the top of my head. I'll look later. Basically what we're trying to do is say, okay, if you're learning to code, you're not really our target market, but we still have you here for the moment, so let's see if we can just essentially offer you something that you might be interested in buying. So there's this Treehouse platform. It's a great place to learn to code. We have our affiliate link down here. So what happens is there's only image and paragraphs. There's no like there's no inputs or anything. So we have our submit button is try Treehouse for free, and when you submit, we just redirect to this URL. So like I was saying, I don't really know what the conversion rate is on this, or if this is a great idea specifically, but it's an example of something you can do. The hypothesis here is that, you know, even if you just make a few sales over there, these are people who would come through your funnel anyway, and so anything that it does saves you money. So that's sort of the base hypothesis. You know, in a certain universe, you could probably engineer it so that it's profitable, but you know, that's sort of a whole different conversation. We've only sent, I guess, 10 people over to that deal, so you know that's not significant at all to really look at yet. One other new thing I can point out while I'm here is now we have this show archived, so you can archive with this trash can up here. There's one or two things in here that don't work yet. I think this preview link or open link, however you interpret that, isn't hooked up yet. We'll get that working soon, but this archive, you can trash can this dude. And once you do, you can click show archive to see all the stuff that you've discarded. And click only show active again to see everything else. You can actually put these back if you did it by mistake, but in this case these are all junk that I was testing and just didn't want to see them anymore. So anyway, I have one thing I wanted to do here. So we have a Leadjetty flow now, which we're using. It's a different property. It's actually leadjetty.com, so we're trying to run our ads for Leadjetty through the product itself now, which is a cool thing. So some of you may see this video after you've already gone through this, so you'll know exactly what this is about. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So right now we just have this one version running. Had 35 people hit it, 5 people fill it out, so that's not terrible. Could be better. Everybody's done step 2, and this actually had a bug. So the first 2 people to hit this page couldn't submit it. So this could have been 100%, but realistically we don't know. We'll see how it goes going forward. And then the last step, actually there's no way to submit it because it's a pay with Stripe button. So I'll show you that in a second, but we added this ability to do a Stripe checkout integration here. So you'll see what that looks like in just a minute. Okay, so first let me open this in a new incognito window here. Show you what this looks like. So it's kind of bare, honestly. It's mostly designed to look okay on mobile, and even that's kind of questionable with this video thing. I'm gonna add something where the videos get formatted properly. But anyway, it's kind of this long copy kind of style, you know, then with our illustration explaining what it does, and then talking about the lifetime deal, and then give us your first name and email. So this is cool, but I'm wondering if we would get a better conversion rate with shorter copy. So I'm going to test that. So I need to set this up. So let me show you how to do this. So first of all, you saw the page just now. Let me show you the actual steps that are involved really quick. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, it's a little bit of a hack going on here. So I didn't like how close to the top of the page the logo was. So I put an empty paragraph in here and then just hit enter once or twice to kind of put a couple of page breaks. So it bumps it down a little bit. In the future, we'll have to give some better ways to control the styles, but you can do some little things like that for the moment. Got our logo, we got this long thing here. This also, the video here needs to be formatted so that it looks right. This is like a weird thing, and it also looks a little bit weird on mobile too, so we got to sort that out. And then the text should be truncated and click show more because this is just too much scrolling for this page. And I'm just kind of offering my own criticisms of our work as we go, I guess. So yeah, you saw that. Then what happens if you fill that out is it sends you to a page, because we're trying to get a little bit more data on the people who are responding to our ads, just so we can work on our targeting and make sure we're offering the right things to the right people. So we're asking what kind of business you work in, and then we're asking if it would be useful if you can automatically bill your clients for every lead you generate. So that's an idea that came from one of our users, early adopters. That is just a fantastic idea. We're working on that, and it should be ready soon to start testing anyway. And then once you click yes or no, we send you over to another long copy kind of deal, which is more of a sales page. In actual fact, this is wrong. This should be here. So I'm going to go ahead and add, and that's exactly why our Facebook stuff is out of sync. Okay, so I'm going to add a page load event right here. We'll call it lead. We don't know how much our leads are worth right now, so for the moment we're just putting 10 bucks. Okay, and then I'm going to delete the one over here. Okay, so, and as I was saying, this is a Stripe checkout thing. So now if you add element, you have a Stripe checkout button at the bottom. And I'll show you what that looks like really quick. So if you click on this dude, you have to put a SKU, and then you have to put, you know, success URL, so on and so forth. There's another field on properties now where you can add a Stripe public key. So anyway, you can fill these out how you like. With these success URLs and cancel URLs, you can really send people anywhere. But you know, one thing you could do is send people to another flow. Like if they succeed, you know, you could send them to like another flow, which leads to an upsell, or just a flow that has a thank you page or whatever. I'm kind of a fan of just keep sending people to stuff until they stop. It's kind of interesting to see how far people will go. Okay, so let's go back. So this is all fine, as you could tell, like it's converting decently, but we wanted to see could we do better. So, and you know, that's part of the testing thing. So something we haven't really talked about on here yet is copying and doing split testing. So this button right here is the copy button. So if you click this, you're going to instantly just get a copy of version 1. It's going to have 0 stats. It's also going to be off by default. So I'm going to actually change this to be version 2. And I think I actually had one that was archived, so I'm going to call this version 2. Let's call it version 3. Doesn't matter. Why not? Okay, so now if we click in view steps, let's just verify that everything looks right. So we still have our lead event. We're still adding to ConvertKit down here. So the thing I really just want to change, I want to test whether or not shorter copy works better. So I have copied copied this from somewhere else. I'm just going to paste this in. So what we're going to do here is, instead of like this whole long spiel, we're going to put an H1 tag, an H4, and then just a little like thing leading into the workflow. So this whole thing is like, we're making this really complicated argument. Maybe it's not complicated, but it's lengthier. This one is just saying, here's a video, watch it if you want. Here's a diagram. Let's see what that does. So we'll update. Let's see how this looks. So, you know, it's way simpler. So unfortunately, we don't have a way to preview this specific variant yet, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. So this is what this is meant to do. So you click this and you would just view this variant. So that'll be there shortly. So what we have to do is open this in a new incognito window. And what's going to happen is, on the back end, it's going to randomly select a variant and then give it to us. So if we open this in a new incognito window, 50% chance of getting lucky, and we did. So this is the new one, so it's a lot shorter. So we're going to test that, and we'll see what happens. And if we click in here, you'll see now we have 0 out of 1. So that's me. I'm always messing up the stats, checking it out, and not actually filling it out. So anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. That's about all I wanted to do in this video, is just set up this test. And I'll report back a little bit later with some results. Yeah, if you have any questions, just email me at Stephen, Stephen, at cst.work. That's our parent company, tech company that we run. We do custom software development and so on. If you know anybody who needs that kind of work, pass our name along to them. Otherwise, yeah, if you have any questions, just email me. If you're curious about this and not sure, love to talk to you. Happy to jump on a call. Um, just reach out. Leave any questions in the comments as well. I check that all the time. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon.